once spent thousands on public relations services to get TV interviews and radio spots and mentions in print media. Want to know how many clients I got from it? 0. Then I discovered something that works 10 times better and costs almost nothing. Today, I'm going to show you how to create content so valuable that people can't help but share it. And more importantly, how to make your audience the rock star of every piece of content you create. Because here's what I've learned. No one cares about you. They care about themselves and how they can win the day. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why most successful content creators aren't trying to impress their audience. They're trying to serve them so well that sharing becomes inevitable. Let me tell you about my expensive lesson with traditional marketing. I hired a PR company, spent thousands getting on radio shows and TV interviews and talking about my expertise and my business insights. I thought exposure would equal clients. I was wrong. The problem wasn't the quality of the interviews or even the reach. The problem was that it was all about getting me business and not about giving the audience value. The PR firm was focused on impressing people with my expertise instead of genuinely helping them. So, as you build out your business, here's the harsh truth. No one cares about you. Meanwhile, I have a client who gets a booking every time she sends out an email. Every single time. What's the difference? She's mastered something I call horizontal growth. There's 2 ways content can grow. Vertical and horizontal. Vertical growth is, for example, when an influencer shares your content and you get 300 followers that same day. That is vertical growth. Here's what happened to me once. I told a joke on Twitter right around the time of a Jamaican election. And it must have been a great joke because I got 500 new followers that same day. The problem? They came for the comedy. But that wasn't my normal content. So now I had an audience expecting entertainment when I actually was creating business strategy content. Wrong audience, wrong expectations. Horizontal growth is different. That's when people share your content because it's so valuable, they can't keep it to themselves. It spreads person to person, friend to friend, colleague to colleague. And those people don't just follow you, they stick around because your content consistently serves them. You want to attract the right audience and grow in a way that your audience becomes your marketing team because they share your content. It's so valuable. Let me give you the perfect example. James Clear's newsletter. James is the author of my favorite book, Atomic Habits, and he sends out a weekly newsletter called 3-2-1. It's 3 thoughts from him, 2 quotes from others, and 1 question for you to reflect on. Here's what's brilliant about it. I often take screenshots and I share it with my friends or I share it in WhatsApp groups. I bought at least 30 copies of his book to give away. I've become his unpaid marketing team because he's not trying to market to me. He's serving me. He's basically curating for me topics that I can reflect on, that help me get where I want to go. They help me become more productive or efficient or happier or healthier or have more peace of mind, have a better life. I don't want to keep that to myself. Also, because it's so short, it's wonderful because people don't have time to read and they don't want to. I know his content is worth my time and attention. There's nothing more valuable than my time and attention. Most people are trying to market to me. He's serving me. So much so that anything he comes out with, I will buy for sure. The 1 time per week of his newsletter also works very well with me because I don't have time every day to read his newsletter. But on Thursdays when I finish lunch, I look forward to it. This is the fundamental shift you have to make. Stop making your content about you. No one cares about you. The content has to be always about the audience, 100% about them. For B2B, think about how you can make stars out of your clients. For example, to do indirect testimonials where you share a powerful thought that one of your clients said, like a quote, and you don't say anything about you. You just post that quote from them. And you can mention that they're your client in a nonchalant way, like, I learned so much from my clients at the end of the post. Make it all about them, about their brilliant thought or idea or reflection. Tag them, and they're going to want to share it naturally. So will their team, so will their staff, so will their clients who see it. They'll get on board too and say, yeah, this guy's brilliant. Yeah, this woman is a star. Once my client Marla Duker and I built out a conference in the metaverse. It was the Caribbean's first business conference held in the metaverse. The idea was just to get people into the environment so they could actually have experience there in a business context and start thinking of ways to use this in their own business as a tool. It was the funnest thing I've ever worked on. But here's the key in terms of horizontal growth. People that bought a ticket, people that went, they got to show off that they were going by posting their selfie from the metaverse, which also indirectly said to everyone, hey, I'm the type of person who stays ahead of the curve. I'm a forward thinker. I'm innovative, right? We gave them a way to make a statement about who they are, who they aspire to become. That's the power. Do you remember the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge? When you would dump a bucket of ice water on your head and you'd publicly challenge someone else to do it. You'd call their name. They made like 4 years worth of fundraising in 3 months. And it worked because people were the ones who got to be on camera. They got to challenge their friends. They participated. They were involved. They were part of it. They shaped it. And they showed off that they were doing something good to benefit others. And it was fun. And it was silly. And it was just a wonderful campaign. The audience must always be the rock star. It has to be about them, about creating and delivering value for them. And you have to make it easy. So maybe they just signed up for your program and it's an elite program and you give them some art that has a powerful quote and on the bottom it says that they're a program founding member. That gives them status, something like that. When you give them online training or meetings, invite them to take a screenshot of that Zoom session and to post it on social and talk about what they learned. Or you do it and you talk about what you learned from them and how they're a great example to follow. Big up people. Remind them of how great they are. Probably no one has told them that recently. Make it real. They'll want to share it. They'll want to reply or comment. And that's where engagement happens. Don't do this in a manipulative way, trying to get something from them. They may not see it. They may not like it. They may not share it or anything. But someone may see it that's looking for someone just like them. And so you can really create opportunities, real opportunities for people in this way. Here's what you need to remember. Horizontal growth means that as opposed to that one-off, that 3 months later, people don't even remember why they followed you. Like if an influencer retweets something that you put out one day and you get 500 followers, make your content so good that every one of those 500 people will see another piece of content in your feed and they're going to want to share it too. Those are the people who will stay. If your friend sends you a video on YouTube and recommends you watch it, if you don't have time, what do? You at least tag it and you save it to watch later. You want to grow in a way that your audience becomes your marketing team because they share your content. It's so valuable. Stop trying to impress others with how smart you are. Start trying to serve them so well that they can't help but share your value with others. When you make your audience the rock star of every story, when you give them the tools to show the world who they're becoming, you don't need expensive PR campaigns. You'll have something much more powerful, an audience of advocates who spread your message because your content makes their lives better. I'm Melissa Marchand, helping accomplished professionals build consulting businesses they love. If you know someone who's creating content but not getting the results they want, please share this episode with them. After all, sharing valuable content is what it's all about.